Welcome, happy Monday and start of the week. Pay attention to what this gentleman says, who is the president of Rock Nation, and Vinicius' agent about image rights, and where I think they have wanted to place Vinicius for a long time. That's why the contract extension hasn't happened yet. And the Real Madrid offer and Vinicius' demands have been on the table for almost 2 years. It's crazy. 1.5 years. That's insane. And that's where I think at this last moment, because it really is the last moment, as we've been saying in the last videos, it's now or never. He must be sold since he won't leave Real Madrid for free. And if this transfer window closes, then we're looking at January. And from that moment on, Madrid can no longer control Vinicius. This explains everything, I think, huh? What this gentleman is saying. And I think that, and when I refer to the fact that they've filled Vinicius' head with a lot of ideas lately, Vinicius wants to stay at Real Madrid. He loves Real Madrid. But of course, when they're talking to you so much and about something so big for such a long time, well, it confuses you. Mind you, he has his reasons, but let's give an example of what this gentleman says, which has nothing to do with Vinicius, absolutely nothing to do with Vinicius, comparing Jordan with Vinny. It's crazy. We'll see it immediately as we go step by step, especially with one of today's news stories, right? Which is the arrival of Bernardo Silva, also Vinicius. But first, this about Bernardo, who, before his medical examination, already had his first contact with Real Madrid fans and said this, Bernardo.
Welcome, Bernardo. How are you, Bernardo? Welcome.
Very happy, honestly.
Welcome, Bernardo.
Welcome, Bernardo.
Bernardo, I'm a City fan. I love you.
Bernardo. Well, he's very happy, but a guy just showed up there. I'm a City fan. I love you. It's just, man, damn. Anyway, well, that's it. Bernardo Silva was there. You could see the happiness on his face. And look, supposedly Vinny too, we can see it that day, because first I want to relate something about Bernardo with his previous club, with City specifically. According to Florian Plettenberg, this is practically done. Well, City has already reached a verbal agreement with the Moroccan footballer Ayoub Bouadi, which is one of the conditions, not the only one, for which City can start loosening their grip a bit regarding Rodri. The Rodri deal is going to happen. Madrid is going to sign him because having reached an agreement with the player wanting at all costs to return to Madrid and wanting to play for Real Madrid, even giving up money from City, although he has already earned a lot of money. I think here Rodri is prioritizing family over money. No, the difference won't be that big, of course, but Madrid is not going to let Rodri down, and Rodri is going to play for Real Madrid. But this, well, it's a situation where City already has or will have what they want to replace Rodri. It makes perfect sense that they would ease up a bit afterwards. Although they will keep demanding, they have rejected Real Madrid's first offer of 55 million. They will keep demanding between 70 and 80. But in the end, I think Madrid will settle at 65. And I think this is going to happen. There's not much rush, but it will be done soon. I mean, there's zero concern about that issue. And now Vinicius, before training, obviously, as always, the medical tests, and there he was posing. Happy, Vini is always smiling, and now he can even show off an even prettier smile with his new chin. This, well, since I mentioned it, is not a joke, quite the opposite. Hey, he improved his image, fantastic. Because also Vini, being a global star, well, for some time now, everything related to his image, both his appearance and his public image, has become very important to him. And here, his representation agency, Rock Nation, has a big influence. And as I said, they've been telling him a lot of things for a while now. By the way, speaking of saying things, they're saying that Arteta has reportedly already spoken with Vinicius. This is in the context of Arsenal reportedly having approved the numbers for Vini, meaning that the owners of Arsenal have already given the green light. Okay, these are the numbers are approved. It's difficult to get him out of Real Madrid because Vini owes a lot to Madrid and there's a contract extension in the works. Even though the positions are far apart, but the step before the interest was that, well, Arsenal's ownership had to sign off. Okay, can we assume this regarding the payment to Madrid, the payment to the player year after year, and the issue of image rights and bonuses? And all of that means Vinicius would earn much more at Arsenal than he would at Real Madrid if he accepts that renewal offer. And Arteta would have told him, we always put it as a conditional, but you don't have to be Einstein to figure it out. Arteta or whoever, or someone mediating between Arteta and Vinicius, or indeed someone from Arteta's side with the people from Rock Nation. The point is that the message from Arteta to the player is that he's the centerpiece of the project. He is going to be the leader, which is something that at Real Madrid they can't guarantee to Vinicius. Because that leader is Mbappe. It's as simple as that. I mean, this isn't just a matter of money. Vinicius, through what he wants to earn, I insist, pushed to that point by his agency, because I'm sure that if these guys hadn't gotten their hands on Vinicius, soccer is his business. Of course, he's perfectly within his rights to have ambitious people managing his career, just like others have Jorge Mendes and so on. Here, everyone does things the best way they can, but deep down, Vinicius is thinking, hey, if Madrid offers me 20, fine, but I'm not satisfied. 20 million net, just imagine, right? I mean, that's more than enough to say, hey, I'm lucky in life, I'm a multimillionaire. I'm at Real Madrid, I'm still here, I'm still important here, the club wants me, I stay. Even if the guy next to me, who has done less for Madrid than I have, earns 10 million more, I stay. There are players who would do that, but you also have to put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough situation. And so, well, that's how it is. That's it. That's how things are right now. A club that's guaranteeing him a leadership role that Madrid can't guarantee him. And that's what I was getting at. It's not just a matter of money, it's also about leadership in the team, reflected in what each of them earns. Mourinho was going to talk to Vinicius. I don't know if he did it today or not, but he'll do it this week. It's something that also has a process. First with Mo, so that from a sporting standpoint, he can tell him how he plans to use him. It seems obvious if he stays, he'll be an important player. No, extremely important, a starter. No, a guaranteed starter. But then there's still that conversation with Florentino Perez. And what is Vinicius going to say to Florentino Perez? Well, all his good intentions, but he's not going to convey the whole message from this part of the negotiation, because that's what people like Federico Pena are in charge of. And this gentleman, let me see if I remember his name. One moment. Jan Mark. Wait, just a moment. I have it here. Michael Jormark. Sorry, Jormark, by the way, one thing, this gentleman, Michael Jormark, was going to London this morning. Let's see, this would open up another issue, right? Look, he's going to London, he's going to negotiate. This gentleman probably has a million reasons to go to London too. But anyway, let's leave it at that. This gentleman was going to the capital of England this morning.
Players in a position if they
Sorry, he's about to say something huge here, but first let's listen to Federico Pena, who is the one within Rock Nation that negotiates directly with Real Madrid. Not the white-haired gentleman, but the other one, the Brazilian who says this. We're not going to listen to him because I'd rather we pay more attention to the next clip. But here's something that also explains a little bit about where they stand right now. A lot of what we bring for these Rock Nation players uses Jay-Z as a reference point, Beyonce's husband. Well, he was just a musician, and look at what he became. Anyway, Vinny could be the first to become that big. That's our goal. Of course, as soon as these people got Vinicius, they said, well, yes, it's great that you're a Real Madrid star, that you've scored goals in Champions League finals and all that, but we want to make you, well, I mean, anyway, the best player in the world, the most famous, and of course, above Mbappe, because they don't have Mbappe, right? And if we also add the issue of racism and Vinicius as the symbol of that fight, then even better. We've been seeing for a while now where these people are headed, but honestly, what this gentleman says here is very significant. Hold on. Are they asking him about image rights? Is this the account, this Cooligans one? Is it okay? It's a talk, two guys who have been doing it for a long time on a YouTube channel. Soccer news and discussion, two Americans. And they invited this George Mark and Federico Pena to talk about, well, soccer represented players, Vinicius. And they get to the topic of image rights and ask him, hey, Isn't this giving too much importance to a football player over a club? Isn't it changing a little bit what it has always been? We're already at that point. Naturally, no. But look at what he says.
If he's doing something for his personal brand, maybe the club disagrees. I haven't heard him say, "Let's wait and see."
He's asking,
I think we should do that.
So I've never thought.
he says, let's see, wait, he's asking him something like that.
Then whatever team that player is affiliated with also gets the spotlight.
If the spotlight is on the player, the club also, well, gets that spotlight 100%, changing what those codes are. I mean, he's going to use Michael Jordan as an example, which honestly amazes me.
100% sure, but gets the spotlight. By the way, the Chicago Bulls would never have been the Chicago Bulls during the Michael Jordan era if it wasn't for Michael Jordan.
The Chicago Bulls would never have been the Chicago Bulls during that era if it hadn't been for Michael Jordan. And you say, but at what point are you comparing Vinicius to Michael Jordan, man? Not because Vinicius can't become, in all the years he still has left in his career, as great in soccer as Michael Jordan was in basketball. I don't think so. I don't think so. But, well, even if he just gets close, I mean, being a truly generational player, which he already is, you see Vinicius, he has already become that. But, but the thing is, Vinicius, it was Madrid that made Vinicius great. Vinicius with his hard work and his goals, of course, because if he wasn't that good, he wouldn't have gotten to where he is or taken Madrid as far as he has, along with others as well. In one of the last two Champions League titles with Benzema, in the most recent one with Bellingham and company, Toni Kroos, Modric, and so on. I mean, it's not just Vinicius, but don't compare them, because Michael Jordan really was everything for the Chicago Bulls. It's like talking about Maradona and Napoli. That's what Jordan was to the Chicago Bulls, although you always have to give the club the importance it deserves. But in that case, those two really changed the order because they put themselves almost ahead of the club, because it's an obvious matter. I don't remember. I don't know how many rings the Chicago Bulls had won in their history. I think none. Maybe I'm making a mistake here. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, Jordan put them on the map, and the same goes for Maradona in Naples. This is just absurd. That's what I mean by filling Vinny's head with nonsense. He put that brain on the map. Some of these clubs are very traditional.
Yes, but that's my point. What is the sophistication of the standpoint needs to be?
Which is absurd.
I mean, the whole thing about filling his head with nonsense needs to evolve a bit more in Europe, especially in the world of soccer, because clubs shouldn't be worried about the rise of a star power, because that's clear.
Are you saying that in Europe it's different and that they have to be more aware of it, of the growth of soccer players and so on, like changing those standards a little bit? And that's what these guys want to do, and they want to make Vinicius the flag bearer of this. And if they make a big move now, it's because these people aren't happy with what Vinicius is at Real Madrid, because they know Real Madrid has Mbappe. That's what it comes down to, because Vinicius and Mbappe might be very good friends, but in the end, that's what it is. It's like, damn, I've got a guy next to me who's the leader of the team. Vinicius, with the humility that guy has always had, as you become more of a star, you start to lose a bit of that humility. But deep down, he would accept that. The ones who don't accept it are his representation agency, who say, wait a minute, man, wait a minute. I mean, we can get something else here. And such a big move to Arsenal like this, maybe they'd even prefer Vinicius to be a free agent and be able to make even more money, both the player and them. But this Arsenal deal could be perfect for them. In fact, they're actually using this deal to pressure Madrid to accept that and make Vinicius the leader of the team in terms of symbolism and importance. That applies to both the locker room and his salary. And they say, well, we're fine with either Madrid or England. Either of the two moves that Vinicius can pull off at the best and biggest club in football history, or going to the best league and to a club like Arsenal, repeating a story like Henry at Arsenal, Maradona at Napoli, or Jordan at the Chicago Bulls, champions. That's what these guys want. And that's why there's a very strong force that is driving Real Madrid further and further away from Vinny, unfortunately. And watch out, this could change in the next few hours, but that's how I see it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Give it a like. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, hype up the video, because it really helps, and I'll see you later. Bye.